Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to take a moment and thank Mr. Castor and Ms. Ross for their hard work on this legislation. Now, there's some here in this body that have said, if we let free markets into the National Flood Insurance Program that is run by the federal government, you're going to undermine the premiums that come in to the National Flood Insurance pool. It's $25 billion in debt, and it's structured in a way where premiums can't rise. This doesn't undermine the program. What we're doing is saying, listen, if you're in the National Flood Insurance Program right now, the way it's structured, there's only one place you can buy insurance. But this is a provision that'll open up the market and let private companies come in and offer families better policies at better prices. And if they don't, you can stay in the NFIP. You don't have to go private. You can stay government, but you give people a choice. It's like saying, listen, you have to keep the United States Postal Service as your one carrier. You can't have FedEx or UPS. You don't get those choices. People want a choice. And listen, in Houston, instead of having only 20% of the people who had coverage, you might have had 40 or 50 or 60% of the people who would have had coverage. More people would have had protection. I got to tell you, I'm disappointed in the partisanship. I'm going to quote a person I rarely quote, but a person that I truly enjoy and like. She once said on a process of a bill, that, quote, this is an example of real compromise. And then, on the substance of the bill, this fine woman from California said, quote, we can have the opportunity for our constituents to have some choice. I think that's real compromise. That's substantive compromise. That's meaningful compromise. And that is the kind of compromise that reasonable people can engage in. And my friends, Mr. Speaker, that was the gentlelady from California who is now in opposition to this bill. Every Democrat, when this came up by itself, same bill last Congress, everyone voted for it. And when it came up in committee, everybody voted for it. Democrats and Republicans voted for this bill because they knew that it was going to offer more choice and better prices to American families. That's why it was bipartisan. So I think this is a moment where our Congress can stand together on behalf of the American people who don't have flood insurance, who don't have a reasonable priced policy. Let's stand with them today and pass this Ross-Castor bill. By the way, Ross and Castor, they're both from Florida. Two Florida members, Republican and Democrat, came together to go, this helps my people. Let's